Hello and welcome to another edition of The One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian with my special guest, Uhre. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
We got Kyle.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yes,
we got Mikkel here.
Yes.
The head from last year.
Yeah.
And we are going to be celebrating a hat trick from Mikkel today.
Yes.
As well as a very fun episode on tap. On today's show, we are going to be recapping the St Baldricks Event, the Sons of Ben's tailgate. We're going to be reviewing the Toronto FC game, and we'll be looking forward to the CCL match that we're all looking forward to against LAFC. But before we get started, what are you wearing today?
Well, I think this was an easy choice. First of all, got the top they wore last night, which I think is straight fire. Okay. So I definitely like the dark blue version of it. Please excuse if you hear in the background our cats running around because they're being nuts. Yeah, the and plastic waist, design here. Love it. I thought it looked super sharp on the guys last night. And and we're gonna get into all this stuff, but I'll tell you what, I think it's sharp. And of course, there was some swag that we'll get into. So I thought, well, we had a hat trick last night, so I don't wear hats much, although I do at the games sometimes, and I did last night, and wearing one of the free hats we got last night. So in honor of the hat trick. What are you wearing?
Well, I think it's only important that I wear the Mikkel Uhre t-shirt in honor of him scoring his first hat trick as a Philadelphia Union. That was a fun game for him, and he really needed it. So, but before we get started, you can follow us on Twitter at TOTWAG. It's the One Team We Agree On, and also on Facebook and Instagram at the One Team We Agree On. And then we are also on Apple, Google, and Spotify podcasts, so you can check those episodes out as well. And so we'll go ahead and get started. Let's talk about last night, the Sons of Ben tailgate in St Baldricks, important event for childhood cancer research, and it was a great time. When we got there, I thought the crowd was solid.
Yeah, it was.
Even before the storms, even with the storms coming, good crowd, good environment. I know they didn't have the DJ, but that's probably because of the storm. But yeah, it was a good crowd. I mean, the wind was kicking up when we arrived.
Yeah, I was trying to hold on to my plate of food, not let that blow away. And as always, the volunteers who take care of the food, awesome job. Always put on a good tailgate there. And so, it was good food and drink, and yeah, good crowd going on there. And yeah, I mean, until about 5:30, the weather was okay. Yeah, I'd say about 5:20, the clouds really started blowing in.
Yeah.
And so everyone kind of moved inside at that point. But yeah, so then we got to talk to a lot of people, actually.
Yeah, we talked to Jimmy, Gracie and the kids, Grace and kids, and that was really nice to see them, and they were all excited. I know Elliot was really excited, and so it was all good to see Grace and the kiddos. And then what was the other thing I was trying to think? Oh, I forget the guy's name, and
well, Duperman on Twitter.
Duperman on Twitter. Him and I had a real long conversation. He does a lot of good work. He had that nice little dupe shield.
Yeah, he creates some really cool things. Some dupe signs on, using wood materials, and
he also did the foosball table they had there. So next time you're at tailgate, check that out as well.
The cornhole, or is it foosball?
I thought it was foosball.
Okay.
If it was not, I apologize. But anyway, so we had a great conversation with him. And then the storms kicked up, wind kicked in. We got
moved it on inside.
And it was nice. I mean, I thought it was
nice we have that now.
Yes, because that was the old lot. yeah, that wouldn't have happened. But the good news is they were able to do the St Baldricks event, and it turned out really, really, really well. And
Hmm.
there was a good crowd on hand to watch it. Um, what do you think about the indoor area?
Yeah, it was really nice to have that space and so we could escape the weather and still be able to do the head shaving event for St. Baldrick's, which I know for you and for me, that is an important cause.
Well, well, why don't you talk about why it's important cause for you? Because a lot of
Okay.
people do know, like, a little bit about my story. People that know me know a little bit because I'm not shy to talk about
Hmm.
why, you know, cancer research,
Hmm.
supporting those with cancer is very important to me. But why don't
Hmm.
you share yours?
Well, yeah, I mean, for starters, I have had family members dealing with cancer. My aunt is currently battling lung cancer, and it's just horrific going through that. I'm sure many of you watching or listening have had somebody in your lives battling cancer. And not only that, pediatric cancer is just the worst. I
Hmm.
mean, and I know I've mentioned before, I'm a teacher, and I've actually sadly had more than one student going through cancer and currently have a student who is battling cancer. And, just anything we can do to get awareness out for research and for funding that research and, whatever we can do there, we absolutely, want to help with. And of course, Kyle, you have your own, reasons for this as well.
I mean, yeah, when my mom had cancer initially, I was young. I was probably, I think it was 8 or 9, and she was given a 1% chance of living. And they gave her a bone marrow transplant, which at the time was kind of
Experimental.
very experimental. And thank God it worked. And she's still here today. And she's had recurrences multiple times. It spread
Hmm.
from her breast to her lungs, all the way down. So, yeah, cancer is very, very, having been there, having as a child been around my mom with cancer, and just seeing the struggle she's gone through, and then also seeing the successes of how she's
Hmm.
gone on to inspire
Hmm.
other people, survivors, people going through treatment, how she's helped them. And then also with my current job as community health coordinator, working with people um, in cancer with Live Strong, and
Hmm.
seeing how that impacts them, and then pushing through and finding their new norm. That's something else that's very important to
Hmm.
me. And then just, you know, childhood cancer is awful. I mean, all cancer is awful,
Hmm.
but because it destroys the body. But childhood cancer is something that
It sucks.
you talk to even cancer survivors, and then you mention childhood cancer, and they're just like, that's the worst. And
Hmm.
like it so the reason I got my head shaved last night is, it's very, very, very important to me for people to support cancer, having been touched by it personally, but also having worked and met people, people I've had relationships with.
Hmm.
So, I did it for people like Elliot, and did it for people like St. Baldrick's, and I've done it for people like my mom,
Hmm.
so, it's the least I could
Hmm.
do. I mean,
No,
even though I don't have much hair, it'll grow back in the
it'll
end.
grow back, but
But
yeah,
no,
it
no,
looks
and I
good.
talked to some of the people that live strong, some of my staff, and they were just like, "Oh my gosh, that's so awesome! Thank you." But no, thank you guys, because that's the reason I get up in the morning to help people. So
Hmm.
anyway, that was an awesome time. So
It was, and Fang was on
yeah,
hand.
Fang was on the hand, and
Yeah.
somebody posted a video of him running back in the rain. That was kind of
Yeah.
fun.
But yeah, Fang did the honors of shaving Jeff Mitchell's head.
So
So that was great.
and I think Jeff said they raised up almost three grand for that event last night. I believe, Jeff, if you're listening, you can correct me in the comments, but I believe it was almost 3 grand. I believe he said.
Yeah. I mean, I know he was like nearing 20, 2,500 or so, like
Yeah.
when I last checked, but he probably got some more in there.
So we then decided to brave the weather.
Hmm.
We headed into the stadium, and we checked out some merch. We got that kit, but they had some new hats on.
They did. And yeah, so we were perusing that they had you know, the hat that had kind of the
Kit
the new away kit, the smoke and water kind of
look.
look. Yeah. So
And then they
yeah.
also had like a really nice blue and white hat that was
Yeah.
kind of like that, but it had like Philadelphia on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a bucket hat that was like just tan.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a tie-dye like light blue and white kind of like
Yeah,
it
it looked
almost
like kind of like a
jean,
denim.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a denim hat. And then they also had a very nice
Some nice like there's
jacket
sweatshirt and the
and
light blue jackets were nice.
they were nice.
Yeah.
So there's some nice swag there in the team store.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you want to show the bucket hat we got last
Yeah.
night.
So for the
And
first I
Kyle the
think
baby had his birthday yesterday,
yeah.
so happy belated birthday! But he missed
Yeah.
it for his mom's birthday. They were giving
Yeah.
out bucket
So
hats.
yeah, we had oh, sport it. Here we go.
We're
There's the bucket hat.
you can't. It's got the smoke on
Yeah.
it. We're trying out our new ring lights that we gotten for the show. So if you can't see it, it's basically
Yes.
kind of the design of the kit.
Yep.
But you can also pop it inside, and it's just a tan one.
Yeah, it's actually it's reversible. So the first I think 2,500 fans got these.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe I can hold
Yeah,
that
there you
there.
go.
Now you can see the detail. So that's the one side, and then you can pop it out, and it's just solid, kind of cream color going
Yeah,
on there. So,
yeah, it's nice.
and then we were walking down the concourse, and they had a table where they were giving out some free stuff. So that included this hat.
Hmm.
Okay. And you can see it's just like that navy blue with the snake logo. And actually I kind of like it. You had a choice of a hat, fanny pack, like a clear fanny pack, or a scarf. I told Kyle to go for the fanny pack. He's like, I don't want to wear a fanny pack. I don't. It's like, well, you can wear it as a crossbody bag, but whatever. But he got the scarf. So
It
they
just
had
says
scarf.
Subaru Park on it.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, it's upside down.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, it's a nice Subaru Park.
it's got the lightning bolt and the snake on it and stuff.
I mean, I kind of have buyer's remorse on it. I should have gotten probably the fanny pack.
That's okay.
But
Well,
that's okay.
that's okay. I mean,
We can always hang this up in our collection.
yeah. I mean, I don't mind having another scarf. And me, I always have, a lot of stuff I hang up in my classroom. Yeah. By the way, Billy, seeing your collection of stuff and I'm highly jealous of those playoffs banners you got that were
I
around
know you
state.
are.
I wanted those so bad. So if anyone out there has any that I can get my hands on,
Oh,
I
shoot.
will be willing to negotiate terms of getting those. I would love, love, love to have those kind of things to hang in my classroom, my dreary windowless classroom that I have a whole, wall of dupe stuff on at least. So
Yeah.
trying. And I saw one of my students last night, actually. He was
Yes,
a
you
huge
did.
Union fan. So out of all those people there, that was cool.
That was cool
So
to see him, and I'm sure he
yep,
had a great time, and you'll be
yep.
talking about this
Oh,
with
first
him.
thing probably tomorrow morning at school. Absolutely.
Awesome. So then we walked around the tunnel and went back. We were trying to meet up with Todd Lewis, but that didn't happen. But we ended up in the tunnel. The players as they were
Hmm.
warming up in the rain, and then we got to see them come out. Before we went up to our seats. It was fun. They were doing some chanting in there. Keystone Ultra, Sons of Ben on the
Yeah.
far side. And it was funny because their whole side's really loud as the players
Yeah.
are walking in and out. And our side was kind of just like, like our you,
Hmm.
me, like Jeff and a couple other people are up front, but we're trying to get everybody to be like, hey, let's chant, let's
Yeah.
get the noise going here. And um that was kind of, but it was still really rocking in there.
We
And
did get some chanting going on in our area, on our side a little bit, but
we're trying to get them going. But
it's hard with like the, division between that, with,
it
the
is.
walkway for the players and
We
everything.
did see Bizo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're just in there, and Olivier and Bizo, he comes out in the tunnel and just like, walks through the crowd where we were. It's like, oh hey, he was just dressed in, street clothes. So
So they were just resting him last night because
yeah.
of precaution. But yeah, I thought overall, pregame was a really good time. We had that rain delay. That was probably the wettest game I've sat through.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I was
for
saying
some listening, probably not, but it was a nice time.
that was the first time we had to break out our ponchos that we
Yeah, we
got last.
did.
We got ponchos on, we stopped at Walmart on the way last year for one of the games because there was a chance of rain and didn't have to take them out. And you know how it goes. You buy
Yeah,
ponchos and then you don't end up using them because you were prepared.
there's a lot of punchers last
And
night
then
there.
we didn't even use them against at the game against Kansas City because we actually got in before it started really raining and then we didn't go out in the stands until it stopped really. So we
Right.
didn't need to wear them, but we had them. So we finally broke those out. And that was the first time we actually, were there through a rainy game since 2019, our first playoff game at the
That
Soup,
was a
you
cold,
know?
rainy day,
Yeah.
but it was an awesome.
Oh my gosh,
That
yeah.
was an awesome game. Just like the game that we're gonna hop in and talk about.
Yes.
So this was a game last night. You hop in
Hmm.
and kickoff goes, and there was a good crowd. I mean, Sons of Ben brought it. We were chanting.
Hmm.
But fun thing, we were listening to the post game recap from Jim, and he said this was the best 45 minutes this team has played on the field this season. Would you
Hmm.
go and agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I thought, right off the bat, we were playing aggressively.
Hmm.
We were firing on all cylinders, we were clicking. And, you know, can I talk about how good we looked in those kits too?
Oh, okay, yes, yes,
Because, I thought they looked sharp. Okay. Um, And as we had said before, oh, they should wear with black shorts with like teal numbers. And
yeah.
they did, matching, like the logo and everything. And I thought that looked really good. The lighter ones that Toronto were okay, but I thought we looked better. And that's my totally biased opinion. But I thought they were like some of the best looking, alternate kind of kits we've had.
They definitely were sharp.
Yeah.
I thought they were probably some of the nicer kits. I mean, you and I have only been there since 2019. So,
Mhm.
of the kits we saw, I mean, obviously, you're not going to beat the Lightning Bolt jersey, but
Oh, for sure.
I like these. I thought the whole get up of the kit was all excellent. So, well
Hmm.
done with that. But yeah, I mean, I kept telling you in the first half that was kind of there were the signs and symptoms of this is familiar. This is a Union team that has done
This looked like the team we know,
yes,
the team that we expected.
when the team is clicking, that is what that looks like. And you talk about they had that own goal. The guy kicks the ball in the net, and
Mhm.
Sean Johnson,
Yeah.
which we'll talk
Oh
about.
my,
We'll talk
yes.
about Sean Johnson in a little bit, but that was created off of pressure.
We
Like
were
they're
creating
just
chances.
creating chances, pressing, and just not giving up or trying to get that ball in. That created a chance. Then you look at Ua's first goal. Yeah, it's a deflection, but as Jim
Mhm.
says, it doesn't matter if it's deflected, hits the crossbar, bounces around, goes in. For a
Mhm.
striker that, like I said last episode, is snake bitten beyond belief,
Mhm.
that was good to see,
Yes.
and then luckily he gets the VAR because they're checking for possible foul. Call goes their way.
Mhm.
So the first two goals bounce their way on a season
Mhm.
that the bounces and those calls that last year maybe we were getting more of, maybe in years past we're getting
Yeah.
more of, they went our way, and it's 2-0. You're thinking, okay, let's add another one.
Yes.
So and so I was feeling good, and then the brace goal was the best one.
Oh,
You
what
know
a
that
beauty
was
of
a
a
chef
goal.
kiss
Mhm.
because turnover happens in midfield. This is classic textbook. Ball out. Danny Reed sees Mikel breaking, runs on, and puts that ball not too far that Sean Johnson can get out and make a run on it, but just far enough that Mikel can beat his man,
Mhm.
make a run on it, and just finishes it. And,
Yeah.
and when he finishes it, that's the goal that, as I was talking, I think it was Eric, was telling Eric in the tunnel at halftime, that's a goal when he gets on that, it's dead red. I mean,
Ua does not miss.
he does. He
Like,
has missed
no,
it,
but
but
I mean,
nine
like
out of
when
10
he's
times.
got a chance like that,
Yeah, it's
he
dead red. I
he's
mean,
probably not gonna miss
and,
that.
and that's why you pay him DP money for those
Mhm.
kind of plays. When he's clicking like that, that's the DP money. And again, now does he need to do more of this? Absolutely. I
Mhm.
mean, yes, we can praise all this game we want. The future's there, but I want to see. That's what I love to see. And
Mhm.
I think another thing on this half, I thought defensively we're good. You know, Brujo was great
He
again.
was.
Bernardeschi and Insigne. Harrell was. They were just good at. They're keeping form, and I thought Jack McGlynn was good. And
Oh
Jim
yeah.
brought up a good point. Maybe some of the struggles have been because Kai was out, Blake was out, and
He said we were disjointed.
when
Yeah.
we're missing those pieces, you can say what you want about the depth, but maybe that is a factor.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, I think disjointed was a good way to put it as he did. I mean, yeah, when you're missing, important pieces like Andre Blake or Kai Wagner, that, they're very important there. And
Mhm.
even though we have great guys that can back up, it's just, you feel the loss of those guys in there. And when you have them all in there and they're all clicking, it's like, watch out. And that's what we saw last night, I think.
Yeah, and also so I felt the only other thing I would say is like you had like the Gaj dug offside, which was offside. You had Carranza had one or two chances, but he was shooting the ball, and sometimes he'll.
Yeah.
I felt like it could have been easily like 4 or 5-0,
I-
but
Yeah.
that's okay because we're creating chances and we're
Mm.
creating quality chances.
Yeah. How about the fact that Brujo, I
Yeah,
say he's getting close. He's gonna get that goal.
yeah, it's
He
coming.
he was so close again last night.
And so you go, we're sitting there talking at half, and it's like, oh man, it'd be great if Mikel gets one. I'm thinking, he usually is a 2 goal
Hmm.
scorer. And start the second half, you're trying to get more goals, and that's
Hmm.
good to see. Again, we're not resting, and we get a nice run. Um, Starts off with a Gazdag. He goes and makes his run. Gazdag passes off to Kranza. Kranza makes a great run down the side and
Hmm.
holds up. And I was watching that replay a couple times. Just holds up enough. You see, it was just
Hmm.
kind of coming in so we could get in. And here was the nice thing with that third goal. We go back to Atlas. Remember that game where he had
Hmm.
that shot on? Was it the Atlas game where he missed the shot on goal? It was like, and then they went back down the field and scored a goal right before half.
I could be.
And then we were like, how? Because they were trying to get a corner kick off of it.
Hmm.
Anyway, he missed like a wide open goal. This time he kind of makes sure he gets that step on that defender and
Hmm.
gets that ball, puts that ball on net rather than just trying to run it. I thought that was kind of like a learning moment. It's like, okay, I missed it that
Hmm.
time. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss it that time. So credit to him. That was awesome to see him
Yes.
have a hat trick. It was really exciting. And then the rest of the game, they started subbing out, getting some guys out, getting them ready for
Hmm.
Wednesday. That was expected.
Yeah.
And you're feeling pretty good until we get to the eighth, ninth minute. And the only thing that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth was that final 10, 15 minutes. We just kind of fell asleep. It was like, all right, we're just going to play this game out and move.
Yeah.
They had already, I felt, started thinking about LAFC. I mean, we were chanting
Yeah. And
LAFC.
honestly, yeah.
We
And
won LA. And go ahead.
we started chanting go back to Toronto, and right when we're doing that chant, and see
Insane.
Signe, he friggin' scores, and it was a really nice goal. I'll give
I
him
mean,
that.
yeah,
But I was like,
it was just, but that could have been prevented. We fell asleep on defense there.
yeah.
Um, and then the second one I think was Lara scored his very first goal or something.
Yeah, that second goal by
That was
then
on Harrell, just
in
not.
stoppage time.
Yeah,
Like,
that was just like Harrell fell asleep, and then like Blake was left in no man's land. There's not much you're gonna do in that.
mhm.
Um,
It was
th-
unnecessary.
yeah,
Come
it
on,
just was
guys.
like, come on, like, and that's the thing. It's like you can't get away with that against a team like LA, New
No,
York,
no, no,
Cincinnati,
no.
Seattle, St. Louis, like some of the best teams in the league, or teams like even Nashville with Mutar, they're gonna punish you with that.
Yeah.
So we still got things to work on. The defense still could be better, but they were also playing such a high level.
Mm-hmm.
It's like last year was like, but there's again the signs and symptoms things that are coming in the right direction. You know, and Jim said he put a point total for the next 5 games for these teams, and he said he was very, that was a very good start. So,
Yeah.
just some fun things. And just a couple other things, like Uhre obviously gets the bang drum, and there's that
Yep.
great thing. He's like, yes, finally.
Yes. Yes. That was great when they had the video of that, and yeah,
That
he's like, yes, finally.
and
Yes,
that
and I agree. I mean, and we're people who weren't like, it was, what's he even doing, and he sucks and blah blah blah. No, we've never been like that because, well,
well, I've criticized him because I do believe he needs to be better at times, but no,
but
no.
no, we've always thought, no, he's gonna break out, and yeah, last night it was great to see it happen, he when he had that first goal, I'm like, he so needed that,
Yeah.
and then for him to go and get a hat trick was just incredible. And that's great, going into this game with LAFC, some confidence boost. And just I thought some of the top three there, there was I got a great shot of you know well, I did a screenshot really. But yeah, like just that great, view of the three guys, Gazdag
Yep.
and Julian and Mikhail, just like hugging there, and it's like, love it, you know.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. First thing I want to say is credit to you for your post last night on Sean Johnson.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so if
Yeah.
you haven't seen, you can follow her on at Silly Jilly. She has a post with Sean Johnson when you take the money and and I was like, when you realize money, when
Yeah,
taking the
yeah,
money goes
actually
wrong.
credit of like the caption to Kyle.
Well,
I
actually, and I would even give credit before the credit to Todd Lewis, because in one of the chat we were chatting and he said he took the money,
Yeah,
and
all
so
right. But
credit the
yeah,
initial idea to Todd.
yeah, there's very meme worthy looks of Sean Johnson last night. First of all, I mean, so we get home, after we finally get home, after a customary
Yeah.
trip to Wawa, which they had my oat milk that I wanted for my iced matcha latte. So I was like, yes, like so many victories today. We get home, and of course we immediately go on, and watch the video for watch the highlights from the
Yeah.
game. And I'm watching, it's like the own goal though. How many times did I watch that own goal on
Where
repeat?
he kicks the ball and he's
Um,
just looking at the guys like, what are you
like
doing?
he kicks the goal post. Yeah, Sean Johnson just kicks the goal post, and then he gives this like death stare towards his defenders. Like he looks so
He was
pissed.
just very whiny last night, like
Yeah.
not even towards his own team. Like you could tell he was just having a bad night. I mean, obviously he has given up now. Let's see, 4-3. I want to say in the last couple matches, like the Union have scored like
Hmm.
11, I think 11 goals in the last 4 games. Like we
Yeah.
just like kind of unloaded after, he's always been decent against
Yeah.
us. So I just think that was funny, especially leave NYCFC, who's actually having a better year. And I get it, he probably saw the money. He probably saw the team on
Hmm.
paper. He took the money, just thinking, no, maybe we're gonna be good. I thought they would be better than what they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has no defense right now.
Yeah. And then of course the picture that I posted, yeah, that was after it was hat trick. Um, but yeah, he just looked like, yeah, you could tell he's just
And can we also
pissed.
discuss they need to bring out a new pitcher. Yeah,
Yeah.
not the awkward goal with the weird smile. Like
Yeah,
there
he's like,
is, yeah, like that one. Can we do the one like that's been going around today where he's like in the rain, like all wet? It's
yes,
like just eh,
much better.
like yeah, just a perfect picture. Like that needs to be, or like some one of his other photos. Like I've seen a couple people saying of the photos from last night, like give him one of those or give him something
Yeah.
better than just that weird goal that they sometimes face it. They do it so bad. But one other thing, just some fun little numbers here. I was seeing OptaJack posted, the Union have had more hat tricks, which is 5 in their last 25 games than their previous 408 games where they only had 4. That's pretty impressive.
I
Now,
mean, Julian had two last year, two hat
yeah,
tricks.
and then
Danny had a hat trick.
on top of that,
Yeah.
the Union have had 4 goal games 10 times since July. Now, granted,
Mhm.
that was when they went on that really historic run,
Mhm.
but during this like span, no team has had more than 3. So yeah, you put context. That was last season. This is this season. I get that, but those are some fun numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what I'm getting at is last night was a fun night. There was great energy in the crowd, even though it was wet.
Despite the rain. Yeah.
And I thought 136 brought it again. It was a fun time. And now, we look forward to Wednesday. And we'll talk about that. I mean, where are you with this game?
Well, I definitely feel better going into it than I, did a few days ago. I mean, I thought I saw a glimpse of, all right, there was a glimmer of hope after Chicago, and we had a good draw, So I'm like, okay, heading in the right direction. I have definitely more confidence after last night's game. I saw a lot of good things clicking. Now, of course, like we've said, they need to play the full 90.
Yep.
You cannot back off at all with LA. I mean, LAFC, they're really talented, okay? We know Luanga and those guys are going to be coming for us.
I mean, Bouanga's playing at a historic MVP level. Like that year, Vela, I think, had I forget. I know that number, but it's not from the top of my head right now.
They also had a draw at Nashville last night, and even like LA Galaxy managed to score some goals on them. Like they're not unbeatable, but man, are they good right now?
They are very good. Yeah. They are playing at a very high level. If we play full 90, do I think we can beat them? I guess
at home, I like our chances. I think,
But here's the thing: series history will dictate, even in the MLS Cup, that I think it's like the last 3 or 4 games of this series. We always draw with LAFC. We drew twice last year. I mean, okay, take away the PKs. It ended 3-3. We,
was it 2021? They came to us and we drew
1-1. Before COVID shutdowns, 3-3, 2-2 last year. I mean, we draw these teams. It's something that obviously. What we need to be doing is we need to get at least ahead of like a goal, preferably 2, but it's going to be very hard. I mean, Bouanga, like I said, he's phenomenal. I guess where I'm at with this game is I think this is what the players want.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing in the league side, they're starting to feel good about where they're getting. They're starting to see, like last night. But I also think regardless of how this series plays out, if we can at least play at LAFC and show them that, hey, last year was not a fluke. We came to your house and took it to you.
Yeah.
You beat us on PKs. And, God forbid it goes to PKs again.
Oh, God.
But even if it does, like, to be able to just go and compete with them, and then regardless of how it comes, I still think the winner of this series is going to win CCL this year. I think we're stronger than Leon and Tigres.
Yeah.
That said, I feel good right now. And I think it's important for us to, make sure we have the energy that we're behind those players because again, they can score early on.
Yeah.
But we know how the series goes. They might score, we can score back, and vice versa. If we score first, we got to keep the pressure down. We cannot fall asleep. So
I really do want to see us go out and like get an early goal, like we did last night.
I think that's going to be critical. I think if we can like take like even a 1-0, but like a 2, like as long as we have something to go and take to LA, because if we fall behind going into LA, that's going to be really, really difficult.
Yeah, that would be bad.
But also, fun fact, former Union goalkeeper, John McCarthy, will be coming back to his former club's home stadium.
I mean, good for him for doing what he's done, there. He's a good guy and everything.
I mean, him, but
I hope we freaking light him up on
there
Wednesday.
We go. Yeah, I mean,
and River End, let him have it. And we need to have a good crowd out on Wednesday, which, it sucks. 9 p.m. start on a school night.
But that's no excuse. This is a historic opportunity.
And forget that, we have state testing going on in most schools.
Yeah, this is a historic testing. We need to make sure we're coming out and supporting this team.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this Monday, go grab a ticket. Like, this is
Yeah,
important.
we need a crowd. We need a great crowd at this game. I mean, this is huge. Okay.
So
And if, you're one of those people that you you didn't go to LA and see the cup there,
this is going to be pretty much up there because I have a
yeah.
feeling these two teams are going to leave it on the field.
Yeah, you got to come see it in person.
Yes. So, I mean, that's it for today. I mean, thanks again, guys, for listening, checking us out. And again, if you have any ideas or the topics you want us to cover, we both love
Hmm.
talking not just about the games because, but let's be honest, there's better content about just the games. We'd like talking about the union, what it means to us, and just
Hmm.
the whole experience.
Yeah.
So, on your way out, if you like it, leave a like or even better, comment. Leave some ideas, but tell us what you thought about last night's game. What are you looking for most forward to on Wednesday nights? Because it's going to be loud, it's going to be epic. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some exciting games coming up. I
We
mean,
do.
yeah. And then, oh, in a few weeks, guess where we're gonna be.
Colorado.
Yeah. Anyone else going? Let us know.
Let us know. We'd love to meet up.
Yeah.
But until next time, I'm Kyle,
I'm Jillian.
and we'll see you Wednesday.